All right, this is Crockett36, Axis and Allies Shultzie and Crockett's house rule game, and that is Sebastian, the Armada out in 92. And we're playing a house rule game. You can refer to Schultzie's first turn, first intro for that. There's a lot going on. We got a pretty traditional Calcutta crush developing over in 36. But the Chinese are still there. They got some war bonds that helped them out a lot. Let's see. So,
they held on in Yunnan.
And they held on in Yunnan. That was, yeah, that's right. They these guys are actually dead. Took 2 infantry in there, and my infantry stood up. He had 5 fighters.
Hey, Crockett,
yeah.
Yunnan is empty.
Yes, Yunnan is empty. He took 5 fighters in there, got 5 hits. And then my 2 infantry actually scored some hits. So
that's the 5 at a time. That's the Crockett.
Yes, that's 5 at a time. The Minsk Miracle from my No Limits house rule game. So I will tell you that it looks pretty scary over here because of the neutral rules. Spain is up for grabs and looking pretty tasty to the Germans. Now the Americans are building a fleet over there, and they have shipyards, which makes for cheap ships and war bonds as soon as they're at war. And another one too, I can't remember what.
Improved factory production.
Improved factory production. So they don't just get 3, they get 4. So a real fight is going to go on in the east, in the Western Front if he does pull the trigger on that.
I think when they're majors, they can produce 12.
Yes, you're right. You're right. So I am in a quandary because we got a lot of boats in the ocean still. It is still a hot Navy. This American fleet is off 108, and it's allowed to go anywhere except for it can't dock on anywhere there's an enemy combatant. So I can't go to 109, 106. I can't go to 91. In fact, I can't go to 54 over on the Pacific side. But this is the UK Europe. These 2 ships here in 98 are not UK Europe. They are UK Pacific, and they are underscored by a black roundel, as is 72. So let's see. I had $37. I spent 36 of it. 3 planes, 1 sub. I still need to fight the Battle of the Atlantic, and I need pointy things, things that kill things. So let's see what we do. So I do not believe I have any combats. I don't see any combats. I don't have any combats. So I'm going to declare non-combat moves. And so 91 looks really safe and secure. And I would like to bring some reinforcements over to the Atlantic side. So, but I'm hesitant. So I'm going to put a blocker in 104. And actually, you know what? Yes, a blocker in 104. I'm going to try to block that thing up with a couple of different things so that even if the Italians take out that blocker, I'll put a French blocker up there and 110, I think. So let's try to keep them away from my my fleet. Now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to move the 81 destroyer up to 98. Now, I think that's what to do. I am going to leave. I'm going to take the carrier and go to 98 because I do not want to lose Egypt. I lost Egypt last game. In the No Limit house rule game, there is almost inevitable that you would lose Egypt. In fact, he said to me one day, "Get used to it. Just get used to it." That's what he said. That's the narrative. That's what happens, and I totally get that. We have that happen in War Room. You always lose Egypt, so I get that. That's just a fact of life. Don't like it, so if you play his game, just the Axis have that high point in the middle. I am going to. I got a destroyer left in 92. And I'm trying to figure out what to do with it because I would love to block the Italian Navy from getting to Spain. But I think it would take me 2 different sea zones, 93 and 92. And that is too many, that is too much to lose. So I'm going to pull that, I'm going to pull out the 91 as well. And then the sub goes in 98 as well. I'm sorry, 98. There's a plane, a fighter in Cairo that's going to go on the boats. on an aircraft carrier. And so there you go. You'll think that that move there to to block your ships, just a little nervous about your ships, so I'm going to try to double block you. Is that a useless endeavor? But or do you think? Because I'm dropping 3. I figure you could bring a Italian bomber into 104, and then I'll move the Italian fleet up there. I mean the French fleet up there, and have a 3-plane scramble. So it might just muck up your works a little bit.
I'm taking a risk of my bomber. Hey, Croc, your carrier that was in 92
2.
had a fighter already.
Yes, and so I dropped the fighter from Cairo onto it.
Okay.
Yep, and then I'm going to take the 1 infantry and 1 artillery from Persia, and I'll bring it over here to 81 and drop off the guys in Egypt. I'm going to take the mech from Kenya, take it up to Egypt. I'm going to take the 2 guys in Rhodesia and take them to Tanganyika. I'm a bit laborious here to get these guys over there. And non-combat, I'm also going to grab Northwest Persia. Iraq is still not yet taken, right? Nothing. We haven't done anything with Iraq, right?
No.
Okay. All right.
Ethiopia also.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'm gonna hold off actually on that Persian move. I'm gonna rewind that just for a minute because I realize it's vulnerable to a bomber. So I'm trying to make sure that bomber can't take it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's march that guy down to Italian Ethiopia. So your bomber has nowhere to land. Not that you would risk your bomber. And I will. Drop those folks. I think I'm going to drop them in Ethiopia. Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. Yes, I will drop them in Ethiopia. Infantry and an artillery. And actually, no, sorry. I'm going to do the guy that was in Ethiopia is going to march to Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. The artillery and the man are going to go and land in Italian Somaliland. That makes sense. Okay, finally got that right. Okay, so the fighters in Gibraltar. I think they're hanging there. No, they're open to attack. They're open to attack. So all right. Okay, I'm going to I think I'm going to move those over to it's going to give you a free guy. Okay, I'm going to leave one of the destroyers in 92 from the fleet that was in 92. I want to take one of those destroyers back there so that you have to fight that out. And I am bringing an artillery and a man to Gibraltar. We got to make that a bit of a fight. I keep forgetting about how hard it is to play a game with Gibraltar.
You mean you want to bring the tank?
No, I'm going to leave the tank. I'm going to take the artillery. I should take the 2 men, just the 2 men, but I could take just the 2 men. I'm going to take the artillery. I'm going to take the destroyer into 91. That way we keep Gibraltar at least one more turn. So you've got 2 transports. I've got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to bring the bomber into Gibraltar. If you attack it, the bomber goes last. Because that'll be 4 infantry and a bomber coming in, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bomber goes last. Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you? You'd be attacking with 5, and I'd be defending with 6. And no bombardments.
Yep.
All right. I think that's reasonable. Any of this seem unreasonable? You make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it looks good to me. So your whole fleet is in 98, except for a destroyer that stayed in 92, right?
Yes, that's correct. I'm going to take a mech up to Erie just to grab that landing spot in case something goes wrong.
Hey, Croc, he's already up there.
Oh, is he? Okay, I'll take him back to London.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, the board. I moved the board around and shifted it underneath the sofa. So, I think that's it. Oh, now if I had attacked somewhere, I could have used the air base in Malta. That's funny. I could have done a grazing attack against the Alexandria. Oh well. And then use the Malta. But that's okay. You'd probably take Malta. So, all right. Let's drop the sub in 109. And no, I'm going to drop it in 110 actually. And then I'm going to drop the 3 fighters in London. All right, I think that would be it. That's Crockett36. Now, I've got $2 more from Persia. And I could have activated Brazil. No, I can't. I took Ethiopia, so that's 3. But I don't get my $5 bonus because I don't own everything. So 28, 30, 31. And I saved $1. $32, does that seem right?
Yep. You can have you on 31.
What's that?
I have you on 31.
Yep, 31, and I saved $1, so 32. All right, let me do a recap. Okay, so in Quebec is a tank and infantry. In 104, there's a destroyer. In 110, there's a sub. There's 3 fighters in London, plus I think I'm seeing 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 infantry. Is it 5 anti-aircraft guns?
Yeah.
5 anti-aircraft guns, 1 mech. And then, of course, the 2 French guys. And then in 91, I see a transport and a destroyer. In Gibraltar, there's a bomber, infantry, artillery, and 3 fighters. In 92, there's a destroyer. In Malta, there's an air base as well as anti-aircraft and infantry.
104 also.
Say again?
You have a destroyer on 104.
Yes, destroyer in 104. Yes, right there. And then what's that?
Don't forget about your Lend-Lease destroyer.
Oh, I did forget about that. Thank you very much. Lend-Lease destroyer, that's one of Shultzie's house rules. It's a free destroyer in 106 until I'm at war. And then Tanganyika has 2 infantry. 70 Italian Somaliland has an infantry artillery. 76 has a transport. Whoops. And then Anglo-Egyptian Sudan has an infantry. And then in Cairo, let me just check this a second. Am I strong enough to withstand this attack? And then Northwest Persia has an infantry. 2, 3, a mech, a tank, an artillery. 2 Australians, 2 infantry, and a diver. Oh, wow. Okay, I might have to adjust to that. Let's see, you've got 6. And if you won that entire battle, which would be hard to believe, you would then bring in 4 more. So I'm gonna trust that that's pretty good, or if it's not pretty good, it would be devastating for both of us. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. All right. Well, if you, I'm going to take my I'm going to take my diver out of there and put it in Anglo-Egyptian Sudan so that I would be able to do a nice hearty attack with several forces. All right, and then in C-Zone 98, there is 3 cruisers, a carrier, 2 fighters, a destroyer, a battleship, and a sub.
Yep.
All right. Well, this could be fun. So we'll see. Maybe some devastation. Maybe. All right. So that would be Crockett36's turn. It's a hot war in the Med and in the Atlantic. And the Allies are waiting for the French to come in. I mean, the Americans to come in. Go ahead, bud.
Hey, the British have a lot of ships on the board.
They do. A huge amount of ships. Two Lend-Lease ships as well as the original Navy, except for the 111 fleet. So that is a lot of fun. Yeah, anything else you're thinking? Who's up next? Italy, right?
Yeah, Italy's up next.
All right. And then, I don't know if you can do it, but if you do it, I might be able to get to something late or early in the morning. And then that would be Italy, and then is it China?
China, Russia, U.S., France.
China, Russia, U.S., France. China, Russia, U.S., France. Okay. U.S., France. Totally get that. China, Russia, U.S., France. Okay, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Anything else you want to say?
Hey, Croc, I can do Italy soon.
Okay. All right. Let me know. Like I said, I think I might be able to squeeze a turnout tonight or after 10.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do Italy shortly. I mean, there's not a lot to do, but they're going to hit Spain to soften it up.
Okay. All right, man. Yeah. Give me a call. I might reject it if I'm in the middle of something because my daughter's anxious to do something. I think we're going to play some Harry Potter Clue. So if
how about this?
Yep.
Text me whenever you're ready.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then I'll do Italy whenever you're ready.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, buddy.
All right. Good night.
All right, man. Bye.